Hey guys and girls, Pokesin King here back with another Flesh and Blood video. It's been a little while, apart from the podcast and the odd Dusk Till Dawn opening, I haven't really made much content. Obviously I did mention on the channel a few weeks ago that I'd be having a little bit of break from making content. I got kind of burnt out with making content, running the site, working a full-time job as well as all my other socials. So it kind of came a little bit too much. It's very hard to do all of the things at once. So I took a little bit of break. I'm back now, going to be making as much content as I can, as always. So today's theme of the video is going to be just kind of what's been happening with Flesh and Blood since I've basically been making the last couple of videos. So Dusk Till Dawn came out, absolutely fantastic set. We have a box here. The art for this box is absolutely stunning. If you haven't opened up one of these, if you haven't opened any packs, I highly recommend. The art on the packs and the box are absolutely fantastic. This is the 10th expansion for Flesh and Blood, and they've absolutely smashed it out the park with this one. Obviously, this is a kind of Monarch 1.5 set. For those of you who aren't familiar, Monarch was the 4th expansion of Flesh and Blood, and this is the second in the 3-part trilogy of Monarch sets. So this is probably one of the most exciting sets for any game that I've had in the last couple of years anyway. Aside from obviously the Marvel Angels, which are absolutely beautiful, we've got the serialized sketch cards as well. The 1 of 10 of the Prism and the Chain. They look absolutely amazing. I've seen a couple of them pulled already, so we've had, I think, 2 or 3 of each now pulled that I've seen on the social medias. They look absolutely amazing, as good as I thought they would do, and kind of as classy as Flesh and Blood would do with their art sketches, but in serialized card form. So aside from Dusk Till Dawn, the market's been moving, as it always does, really. The free gems is something that I've made continuously videos about, and I probably always will do. I've got multiple copies of myself. They're cards that I really enjoy. But for today, we're going to talk about the rainbow foil versions. So the last update I did was all 3 of them had actually got above £500 in the UK. I think it was 500, 525 and 550. Now we've had a retrace of around about 10 to 20%. So the heart is around 425, 450. The Eye of Ophidia is around about 450 to 475. And the Arknight Shard as well, the same as the Eye of Ophidia. So why have these cards retraced? Nothing's really changed. They're not more or less playable than they were, 6 weeks ago. I think the strength of the market, obviously, in the summer, generally, as I've said before, a lot of people generally sell. The market drops because more people are trying to sell. They might not be buying so much. They're spending a bit more time with their family. They're going on vacations, their holidays. The warmer weather has come out now, especially in Europe as well. Right now, we've got some heat waves going on. So people are looking to spend their money on those kind of things. And maybe less money is going to be put into their hobbies, which, is the same every summer, honestly. So they're going to be looking at some cards in their collection that they could probably get rid of. Something they might either be able to buy back later or maybe something they just don't really need. So these first 3 gems are probably the perfect example. They're around, £400 to £500 each. That's a good amount of money if you sell one of those. There's always collectors wanting to buy these cards. I'm not sure how many are actually selling right now. That could be quite hard to see the data for those, especially in the UK. Card market isn't great with that data. TCG Player is really good with it, but I don't think many copies of either 3 are actually selling right now. I've been trying to sell a copy of Eye of Ophidia, and I've had no luck on that. I've dropped the price down below last sold, and it hasn't really sold. Again, for the same reason why everybody else is selling, just to recoup some funds and put it back in. Mine would be going back in the business, maybe not so holidays and stuff like that. But talking about holidays, we have Worlds has been announced in Barcelona, in Europe. So that's absolutely fantastic for those of us that are in Europe and can travel to Barcelona quite easily. I've booked my hotel and flights. I've got the 4 days there, so I'm really excited. This is going to be my first trip actually in Europe for a couple of years. So my last trip was Japan. Before that, I had nothing outside the country, since the pandemic. So 2019, and again, 2019 was Japan as well. So I think I've been to Barcelona twice before. It's an absolutely beautiful city. For those that haven't been there, it really is a beautiful city. There's so much to do there outside of obviously Worlds. I'm going to be doing a little bit of sightseeing myself. I'm really excited. But for those of you that are going to be going, whether you're going to be going from Europe, the UK, or you're going to be coming abroad from America, perhaps, or from Asia, obviously your travel time is a lot longer. I know some people were saying about their travel time was taken about 17 hours. Thankfully, it's about 2 hours for me on flight, and obviously either side of going through the border patrol and stuff like that. But I'm really excited. If you are going, drop me a message on here, on comments, or on Discord or Instagram. I'd love to meet up, maybe make some content together, open some packs, maybe play a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to get into any of the side events. It depends. I'd like to, if I'm at a point where I'm actually not completely trash at the game by that point. I have started playing Blitz again. I'm playing Prism, but I've only been playing with my friend over webcam, so I need to get myself on Talishar so I can play a little bit, practice a little bit, and then make maybe a classic constructed deck. I'm running Prism at the moment, Blitz, so I'm quite excited to kind of get more involved. It's just the time aspect. With everything else, if I'm playing Flesh and Blood, I've got to kind of take time away from something else. So that can be quite difficult at the moment. But I'll be sure there anyway, whether or not I'll be playing, or maybe I'll be making content, meeting people, maybe making some sales or trades. Whatever, I'll be there at the event. So I'm quite excited for that. This is the first European Worlds, from what I believe. So this is a really big thing for Flesh and Blood and for the European communities. Obviously, it's a little bit hard to travel to. So that's going to be fantastic. Obviously, we're at 10 sets now, and it just seems mad that we've got to 10 expansions. If you don't include the history packs, obviously, technically, if you do include them, we're at 12. But this Dusk Till Dawn was I believe it was the first, it was the second worldwide release. I think Outsiders was the first one. And this was the second one where we got all multiple languages. Obviously, we still got Japanese language that's going to be coming next year. That's really exciting. And, the potential for more languages to be added. Honestly, I can see it being added. I know other card games right now have added in other Asian country languages like Thai and Indonesian. They've added in Chinese as well. So potentially that's, a route that Flesh and Blood could do also. But going back to the Fabled, I think, the Library of Solana is doing really well, obviously. The Cold Foil of that especially is going really well. Caution is something that I actually think is a really good pickup right now. Whether it's Cold Foil or Rainbow Foil, I know the Rainbow Foil actually dropped below $100 in America. It's about £110 right now, or €110. If you can get it cheap, it's a Fabled. Look, they're extremely hard to pull. And no one is cracking, the pull rates are 960 packs, 10 cases. No one's opening 10 cases of Total Unlimited right now, let's be honest. Even few stores are doing that. So whatever's out there, obviously there's going to be more. We don't know what the print run is for Total Unlimited. It's probably astronomical, but it's a beautiful card. It looks great. The potential for it to be played in the future, we don't know. Again, with Flesh and Blood, where there isn't a rotation like there is in Pokemon, for instance, any card can be used, obviously, as long as they're not banned. At any point, it's just how playable the card is. So as more heroes come out, more classes, get supported, more sets come out, any card from that back catalogue of Flesh and Blood could potentially become a playable card. We've seen the spikes in cards, what happens when cards get spec'd, even before they even are playable. But when they get spec'd, these prices will just absolutely climb. So I would recommend, if you haven't got a copy of Caution, pick up a Rainbow Foil copy. If you can get it for $75, that's fantastic. Even £100 is, that's the price of 2 unlimited boxes. I think boxes are around about £55 each. So that's the price of 2 unlimited boxes. That's ridiculous. You're not gonna, the chance of pulling one from 2 boxes, is very slim. So I think it's a really good pickup. Obviously there are a couple of legendaries in the set that are a lot more expensive than the Caution, but I'd highly recommend. I've got 2 cold foil copies myself. I've got a BGS 9 and a BGS 9.5. They are really beautiful cards, honestly. Tales of Aria is a fantastic set. I highly recommend picking up cards from the set. I think they'll revisit this set, the Elementals. They'll definitely revisit. Obviously, at the moment, we've got 2 out of the 3 heroes at LL. So right now, there's never been a better time to be picking up Tales of Aria stuff, honestly. I can't see it getting any cheaper than it is right now. So that's my advice for those of you who are watching. Obviously, it's not financial advice, I have to say that because, it's just the things that I'm doing. If I was buying right now as a collector or an investor, obviously right now I've taken a back seat and buying because I am running the store now. Wraith Tavern Cards did really well with Dusk Till Dawn. We sold 17 cases, which I think is, I know local card stores that didn't sell 17 cases of Dusk Till Dawn. So, for me, that's a massive moment. I'm going to be at card shows. I'm going to be at London Card Show. Obviously, I'll be at Worlds. I'm going to do as many card shows as I can next year. I'll be doing a hunt for Flesh and Blood on the Saturday to see if any vendors have it. And on the Sunday, I'll actually be vendoring myself. So I'll have some Dusk Till Dawn. I'll have some Crucible of War and some singles, as well as Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and probably some Yu-Gi-Oh as well. But if you are going to be at any of these events, drop a comment below, message me on Discord or Instagram, let me know. Appreciate that. I'd love to meet up with people. I can talk hours for, TCGs, honestly. I met up recently and did a trade for some Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And, he almost was late for his train because we just got into the rhythm of talking about card games and kind of our experiences in that. But yeah, check out Wraith Tavern Cards. The link is in the description below. I'm going to add as much stock as I can on there right now and be as competitive as I can on prices, especially for singles. Sealed's going to be a bit difficult. I know my sell price for Dusk Till Dawn was $77.49 per box, which was the cheapest in the UK that I saw by far. I think even with multi-buy, most stores were like £80 lowest. So I know a lot of stores that, I did a lot less. I took less of a profit, but I wanted to get my name out there. I wanted to get Dusk Till Dawn into people's hands, and it was very successful. Most of my buyers were people that aren't actually actively collecting Flesh and Blood or hadn't collected before, and they were just interested in Flesh and Blood and they were interested in the set. So, that's fantastic for the game. We're getting more people involved in it. The game is going to continue growing. I'm very confident about that. I've said that on the past. I've said what the game needs to do to improve, and they seem to be making the steps to do that. So please check out all my links, comment, like, subscribe as always, and have a great day.